Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. My name is Dreams and today we're going to be going over the top 5 fastest cars in GTA 5 Online. Now this list is based around top speed alone, so there are other cars that might beat some of these cars on this list in acceleration or traction or anything like that. You know, there's cars with better handling, there's cars with better lap time, all that stuff. This list specifically will be based on top speed. Before we get into the video, one thing I want to say is if you are new to the channel, thank you very much for checking it out. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well as leave a like if you want more videos like this. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, coming in at number 5 on this list, we have the Invetero Coquette. I don't know how to say this car's name, to be honest, but it is the D10. It's a pretty new sports car that came out in the Los Santos Summer Special update just a few months ago, and it is based off of the Corvette C8. So first thing we're going to go over is what you're here for, which is top speed, and this car has a pretty crazy top speed of 130 miles per hour. Now I just want to say the speedometers on the cars in this game are not very accurate to how fast they're actually going in the game, so some of the numbers I tell you might not actually perfectly match up to what the car's speedometers are actually saying in game, but the speedometers aren't really trustworthy because you can have some cars that, let's say there's 2 cars racing, and in this game they're so inaccurate that you can actually have like the car that's in the lead technically according to its speedometer going slower than the car that it's beating. But yeah, back to the D10, it has a top speed of 130 miles per hour, which is 209.21 kilometers per hour, and you can pick one of these up on Legendary Motorsport for $1,510,000. Now, some things to note about this car: it is a sports car, even though it really shouldn't be. In reality, the car it's based off of should be a supercar, and it honestly looks like one, but regardless sports or super, it is still a pretty cool car. Now, I'm just going to give you a heads up, although this car does have a really nice top speed, it does take it quite a while to actually get to that top speed. You know, this car is not very ideal for drag racing or anything, you know, on short tracks or anything like that, because even when you max it out, its acceleration is not really up to par against a lot of the other sports cars and supercars that it should kind of perform near or better than. So although the D10 is a pretty cool car, there are some cars that I would recommend more than this. And with that being said, coming in at number 4, we have the Bravado Banshee 900R. Now this is the cheapest car on the list because of the fact that it starts out as a sports car. The regular Bravado Banshee is a sports car, and you can take it to Benny's, and once you turn it into its Benny's variant, it actually turns into a supercar. Now you can pick up the regular sports version on Legendary Motorsport for, I believe it's like $105,000, and it takes around $400,000 to $500,000 to turn this into the supercar version. But yeah, this is a pretty nice car. Has a top speed of 131 miles per hour, which is 210.82 kilometers per hour. Very cheap compared to the other cars on this list. It only costs like half or even a third of some of the other cars on this list. It's a pretty heavy car, it has good downforce from racing, doesn't really spin out much, and the real car that it is based off of is the Dodge Viper. There's some other cars too that it kind of takes some inspiration from, but I believe the main one is the Dodge Viper. But yeah, if you don't have a lot of money but you still really want a supercar, this is definitely what I would go for. So that's pretty much it with number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have the Deveste. Now compared to the D10 and the Banshee, there's a pretty big jump in performance when it comes to the Deveste. Now that mainly shows in its acceleration, but it also has a faster top speed. Its top speed is 131.75 miles per hour, which is 212.03 kilometers per hour, and this really is a pretty good car. You can pick one up on Legendary Motorsport for $1,795,000. So it's still not too cheap compared to some supercars, but it is kind of somewhat on the higher end, but I think it does live up to what you would expect because it is a very nice car. Now it doesn't have the greatest handling, but it has by no means bad handling or bad traction. It's just not quite as good as some of the other cars on this list, but it is still pretty good, and it's a really solid, kind of well-rounded car, I'd say. And the real car that this car is based on is the Devil 16. Now coming in at number 2, we have the Pfister. I think that's how you say it, Pfister 811, which comes in with a pretty crazy top speed of 132.5 miles per hour, which is 213.24 kilometers per hour, and it's a pretty solid car. You can actually pick one up on Legendary Motorsport for only $1,135,000. And one thing that's pretty cool about this car is it is 4-wheel drive, so even when you have this car at its like top speed, you are flying down the road, it still keeps its traction pretty well. And even when you do start sliding maybe a little bit ever, if you take a sharp turn, since it's 4-wheel drive, it kind of grabs onto the road pretty easily and gets that traction back really quickly. But one thing about this car is it honestly barely has any customization options. I know you can change the color of part of the spoiler, and also I think you can change the skirts a little bit, and I think you can also take part of the roof off, but other other than that, there's really not hardly any customization options. So if you really want to take a car and make it look just like absolutely phenomenal, I don't know if this is a car for you, but if you are basing your decision strictly off of performance, I definitely say this car is a pretty good one to go for, since it is technically the fastest supercar in the game. And the reason that is because the first car, the fastest car in the game, is not actually a supercar, and the 811 is not that expensive. I would definitely say it's a pretty good car to go for. Now, the real car that the 811 is based off of is the Porsche 918. Now, that's pretty much it with the 811, but right before we get to number one, I want to give an honorable mention to one of the newer cars in GTA, which has honestly become one of my main cars that I like to use. It is the Itali RSX. Now, I'm honestly surprised this car is not technically a supercar, because it is seriously very fast. If you take into its acceleration and its top speed and everything together, it's such a nice car. The thing is, this car is extremely expensive. Now, you can get one of these on Legendary Motorsport for about $3.4 million, and I believe the trade price lowers it to, I think, 2.6 or 2.8 million, something like that. Now, I don't know exactly how to get the trade price, but I heard it has something to do with the dude and your phone in GTA Online named Tom Connors. So there's probably some other video on how to get that trade price for this specific car, but this is the top 5 list, so I'm not going to go over that in this video. But yeah, this is a really solid car, and it's also 4-wheel drive. If you have the money, like let's say you were just filthy rich in GTA and you had to choose one of these cars, I would definitely go for this one above all the others. But with it being so expensive, I don't know if this is the car you're going to want to go for, because coming in at number 1, we have a car that's even faster than the RSX. It is the sports car called the Ocelot Pariah. Now, the Pariah's top speed comes in at 136 miles per hour, which is 218.87 kilometers per hour. You can buy one of these cars on Legendary Motorsport for $1,420,000, and I'd say it's definitely worth that price, because this is a really solid car. Has the fastest top speed of all like normal street cars in the game, and it is a sports car, so if you take this thing into sports races with other sports cars, you're gonna really see how fast this car is, and I would say it's definitely worth that price. Now, it doesn't have the craziest customizations, but it definitely does have some pretty nice customizations compared to the 811, and I mean, it's already a pretty nice looking car to begin with. Yeah, it's pretty much it for the Pariah. Tell me in the comments what you guys think about this list and what cars you think might be able to stand up to these in a race. So although this is a top speed list, there are some other cars that might outperform some of these on this list, you know, during certain races when it comes to lap time and stuff like that. And yeah, just tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well as leave a like for more videos like this. I would really appreciate it. Any support means a lot to me, and it's really crazy how fast the channel's been growing recently. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. My name is Dreams, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.